Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Caitlin, and I'm here to talk to you about my thesis project that I'm working on this year. My supervisor, the lovely Jean Moyle, has been working alongside me. And my research is looking at mindfulness meditation with the QUT dance students. So mindfulness can be described as a quality that varies within people, and it refers to having an enhanced attention to and awareness of the present moment or experience. This is as opposed to mindlessness, which is where one is distracted by often past and future distractions. Many theoretical practices have incorporated mindfulness successfully in practice, and some of the benefits of mindfulness practice have been psychological wellness, reducing pain and anxiety, as well as exercise promotion and performance enhancement. Over the past decade, there's been an abundance of research into the use of mindfulness with physical activity and sport, as flow is an important state that is often shares a relationship with mindfulness. Also, dancers can benefit from mindfulness, similar to athletes, in that they are often found to have benefits in flow, as well as a heightened body awareness through meditation and mindfulness practices. This can lead to better ability to adapt to changing environmental demands. So my study was to evaluate a 10-week program involving mindfulness meditation with the students in dance and dance performance. So I aim to expand the research of mindfulness by applying it to performing arts. Here you'll see an example of the program. So we've got the 9 topics here that the students went through. With their 10th week, they were able to choose one of these topics. So each week they did a 45-minute session on each topic down at the sports stadium down the hill. I invited students who were involved in the mindfulness and meditation classes to join my study. The program itself was a part of their compulsory units. So in total I had 96 students from all year levels in dance and dance performance. I used the mindfulness attention awareness scale to measure their day-to-day mindfulness levels, and I also had a survey to measure their perceived levels of mindfulness and how this program benefited them. And these were tested at 3 time points: pre, middle and post. Here you'll see my 3 main questions that I was looking at. First of all, did students have an increase in their mindfulness over the 10 weeks? Were there any differences in the 2 courses and across the 3 year levels? And is there any difference in those who have previous practice in somatic-based practices? So here's answering my first question. I did a t-test comparing the pre and post mindfulness levels of the entire sample, and it was non-significant. As you can see in yellow, there was a very small difference in mindfulness across the entire cohort. Secondly, I used ANOVAs to measure if there are any differences in the 2 streams, and then I also measured the 3 year levels, at which there was no significant difference, with one exception being at the midpoint. The first year students decreased and the 3rd year students increased, and these were different. Thirdly, in terms of somatic experience, there was no significant difference at baseline levels. As you can see, the people with previous practice were slightly better, but it was not significant. And finally, looking at some examples of the response in the surveys, you can see this is a good representation of most of the responses. They were positive, showing that their understanding of mindfulness increased and the benefits that they got out of it. So as you can see, the qualitative results point to the positiveness of this program in terms of benefiting the students in their studies and decreasing their stress. However, quantitative data over the 10 weeks doesn't back these remarks. this is just something to point out. At the midpoint, you can see in blue, the first year's actually dropped at the midpoint, whereas they increased after that. And looking at the qualitative data, it seemed that they had a lack of insight at the beginning of the program, but at the midpoint, it was probably a more accurate representation. And then also, the third year and second year students have had previous experience, as this is the third year this program has been going. So it's likely that the past experience has led to a higher mindfulness from baseline onwards. So the 10 weeks that I measured may not have been long enough to see any significant differences. Clearly the main limitation I had was that I was unable to use a control group of dance students, and this is because it's compulsory for them to attend these classes, so I think it takes them away. And also the effect of the previous experience